Welcome back to Helsingborg, Sweden for the IPF 2019 World Classic Powerlifting Championships. And we are just about to get underway with the 105 kilo Masters one man. And of course, none of this is possible without the great support from Aliko, who just continually raised the bar. Uplift, bringing quality coaches and athletes from around the world together, and SBD, makers of the greatest lifting apparel on the planet. And we are getting underway now with Konrad Burgart from Germany, 150 kilograms, and we are probably going to get a fairly exciting afternoon in 105s here. The current world record, 320 kilograms. And a good opening lift. That's what you want for an opening lift. Nice and smooth. So you might have heard me over on platform 1. I've popped over to platform 2 for the 105s this afternoon. I like chasing the excitement. And I have no doubt we're going to try and nudge a world record, or a couple of world records today. So Bjorn Fredriksson from Denmark, 170 kilograms. So well under his personal best. So 170 should be a fairly comfortable opening lift. Gets in nice and deep. And gets the 3 white lights. And we're off to a good start. It's Hjorga Skoj from Norway now, 200 kilograms. So 200 kilograms, Torgeir from Norway. Got some big opening lifts coming up. Andy Mahone from New Zealand looking at 292.5. And Gutierrez from the US looking at 290 to open. And fast and smooth all the way through. 3 white lights. So Michael Peritz from Germany now, 205. So well under his personal best. I think this might be his first world championship. He's looking exceptionally strong. Oh, and he gets 2 red lights there, just not quite deep enough. So Ruben Hoffman from Norway, 227.5. With a gold medal last year at the World Championships. He's up against some tough competition this year. Sorry, he ranked 5th last year. Lawrence Hackley from Sweden, 240. Big, big 105. And had to work pretty hard for that as an opening lift. We would have liked to have seen it maybe a little bit faster. So Scott Simon from Great Britain looking for 245. So Paralympics head coach in Great Britain. And certainly not his first rodeo. Did the European Masters earlier this year with a bronze medal. And the referees say that's a good lift. Jussi Kisikko from Finland now, 245. And 245 kilos was smooth all the way through. Thomas Celestine from Great Britain looking for 250. "14 years competing. Picked up 5th place last year, this year at the European Masters. And 6th place last year. And smooth all the way through. Almost lost his balance at the top there, but managed to hold on to it and gets the 3 white lights. Jan Selmella from Sweden, opening at 260 kilograms. He's here to chase a podium finish. He picked up a bronze medal, picked up a gold medal last year at the European Masters Championships. He picked up a 4th position. Got a resume that dates back to 2005. So plenty of competition years of experience. So opening with 260. It's nice and tight. And referees say it's a good lift. Carol Rather from Czechia now, 270. The best lift of 280. Picked up a silver medal last year at the European Men's Championships and a silver medal the year before. I think he picked up a silver medal in 2016 and 2015 as well at the European Masters. been busy. And a little bit of work, but smooth all the way through. And he gets the white lights. Maxim Mikulik from Russia, 275. So 275 kilos. About 20 kilos of breathing space from his best lift.
Thanks, Robert.
It's that big breath, sinks it in deep, very smooth all the way through. Lupina Teres from USA now with a massive 290 kilos for an opening lift. This is a big, big opening lift. Just under his personal best of 300 kilograms. The US coaches generally pretty solid on their lift selections. And we've seen them in previous years, the US team, always been very, very good at lift selections. Don't make a lot of errors. 290 kilograms. And he gets that one on the board with 290. And Andy Mahone from New Zealand now with a massive 292 and a half. He's got a personal best of 315.5. Picked up a silver medal in 2017, the World Men's Classic. He's going to need everything he's got for this one. And he rolls that to the top without too much trouble. Gets one red light there for depth, just from the side referee. The 2 lights will put him on the board. So we come back to the start for round 2. Konrad Bergart from Germany looking for 175. A good opening lift at 150. And this shouldn't be pose too much more of a challenge for him. So these are very, very light squats compared to what he can actually manage. Wondering if he's carrying a little bit of an injury. So Bjorn Fredriksson, Denmark, 182.5. Opened at 170 and had a good opening lift. It was smooth all the way through. 182.5, getting a little bit closer to his personal best. a big breath in. Oh, he's dropping that chest down, but he stands it back up. See that chest just fall forward a little bit there. So Michael Peretz from Germany now, 205. So missed this on his opening lift. Wasn't getting deep enough. So he's going to have to come out now and really sink it in. It wasn't a problem with the weight. Didn't have an issue with it being too heavy. It just wasn't getting down there. He's going to have to be a little bit more convincing for the referees. That looks better. And it's smooth. That looked a lot better on that one. And he gets the 2 white lights that goes on the board. Torgeir Skog from Norway, 212.5. Just getting the bar in position. When you're stepping out, you want that bar exactly where you're used to having it on your back. And you want to pull it in tight. Fast into the hole. A fast lift is often a good lift, and this one is too, with 3 white lights. So we change the bar now to 235. Ruben Hoffman from Norway. This will be right on his personal best. So this will give us a good indication of how his last couple of training blocks have been going. He's hitting a personal best on his second as it moves quickly. That's a little bit of work. Probably wouldn't be adding too much for his third lift. Maybe 7.5 kilos. Lawrence Hackley from Sweden now, 250, and nudging up awfully close to his personal best. I'm not sure, but this might be his first international, or at least his first World Championships. And he's having to work hard for it. He gets it back to the top though, and he gets the 3 white lights. Scott Simon, Great Britain. $255. And it's a good lift. Great Britain having a fantastic day today. Already seen some medals. Joe Whiteley got herself on the podium a few times in the 84 pluses. Right now, you see Kasiko from Finland. And it goes on the board. Thomas Celestine, 257.5. This will be a personal best. His opening lift was fairly convincing at 250. He's having to work very hard for that. I don't think they'll be looking at too much more. Maybe 262.5, maybe 265 tops. Of course, not only Joe Whiteley from Great Britain getting on the podium, Jenny Sherwood as well in the 84s. Jan Selmella from Sweden, 270. Good solid walkout. Looks comfortable. His opening lift was pretty tough though. And this one is pretty tough too. But he gets it there. Karol Rada from Czechia now, 280 kilograms. .280, this will equal his personal best. Gets that big breath in. There it is, pushes into the belt. And is working. So, Salmela from Sweden, they put in a 280 for his third. Unfortunately, Rada there not deep enough. Samala's second lift looked extremely tough. So 10 kilos is a pretty big call. Maxim from Russia, 295. The big patented SBD belt with their patented buckle. Created quite the buzz when it was launched a couple of years ago, or a few years ago now. And it was designed based on information and feedback provided to them by lifters. And that was a super quick lift. Gets it on the board. 2 white lights. So 305 now for Eita Lapena Gutierrez from the USA. So heading up into personal best territory here. 40 years of age. He's only been competing for 3 years. So looks like this is his first year as a Masters. for 305 for a personal best. His opener at 290 moved very, very well. You see him tighten right up. He's having to work hard for it. Was it deep enough? Yes, it was. He gets it on the board at 305. And 307.5 for Andy Mahone now, but he's going to have to watch out because that Gutierrez is just trying to peg him down. Needs to stick to his plan, not get caught in any games. 307.5. Gets in deep. Oh, it's tough, but he gets it up there. And the referees say it's a good lift. So we come around to the start again now. Bjorn Fredriksson, 192.5. Looking for a personal best. $192.5. His first two have been good. Wants this one for a personal best, and going by his previous lifts, I'm fairly confident that 10 kilos is not going to be too much. Gets in deep. And a good lift selection. I reckon there's just maybe a couple of kilos left in there. That was a good selection. Konrad Bogart from Germany now at 200 kilograms. And I think this will be a fairly easy lift for him. He's gone well above this before. I think he's just putting on some numbers that his body can afford at the moment. Trying to keep within the reach of his body's budget. And 200's a cashable check. It's in deep. And there it is, 3 white lights. So we load the 215, Michael Peretz from Germany. Missed his opener, couldn't quite get deep enough. And smoked it on the second. He has plenty of strength and plenty of power. Not deep enough. He's going to be disappointed with that, so we'll just have the one squat on the board. Torgeir Skoj from Norway now, 222.5. So just a smidge over his personal best, so looking to add a couple of kilos to that previous personal best of 220. He's going to have to earn it a little bit. And he does just that. Gets the white lights. Ruben Hoffman from Norway, 240. If he can put this on the board, it'll give him a personal best as well. His time. Oh, he's having to work for every bit of this. Somehow he managed to rescue that. It was all over the place, and he managed to get that on the board. Lawrence Hackley from Sweden now, 255. So 240, 250. And I think the 5 kilos was a smart move. His 250 didn't move overly well. So 255. And I probably would have put exactly the same number in. I don't think there's that much more in his tank on squats. And you want to save some energy for the end as well. And he gets it to the top. 3 white lights. Scott Simon, Great Britain, 260 kilograms. Just shy of his personal best. Depth is solid. He has to put in every bit of fight he's got for it. And he gets it there. So 262.5 now. You see Kusiko from Finland for a personal best as well. We got a 3:15 from Mahone coming, a 3:12.5 from Lapina, a 3:07 from Maxim. And they will be your gold, silver and bronze medalists. They might shuffle yet, but they're your top 3 in the squat. 262.5 for a personal best for Jussi Kusiko from Finland. And just a little bit too much today. Thomas Celestine from Great Britain, 262.5. So his second lift was a bit of work. So they've put the conservative selection in, just throwing on that 5 kilos. And I always say earning 5 kilos is better than losing 10. And just a little bit too heavy there. And these guys spotting and loading are absolutely on fire today. Colorado, Czechia, 280. So missed it on his second. Now looking to get it back. Digging that bar in deep, trying to get it as tight as possible. You don't want that bar to shift around on your back midway through a squat. And he's having to fight for every bit of it. And he puts it on the board. 280 again. Jan Salmela from Sweden. And I have a feeling Jan is letting the clock run down. Trying to conserve some energy. Big squats really take it out of you. And he put a 260 and a 270 on. He's solid in 4th place overall, the predicted totals. And is even in a position where he might just be able to have a little bit of a play at the top. Let's see what happens. When we get to the end. So Salmela opting not to take his 3rd lift, but letting the clock run out so the guys get their extra minute of weight. So we load the bar, 307.5 now. Maxim Mikalyuk from Russia. $307.5 kilograms. And there's still 2 lifters to follow him. He is a very powerful lifter. And that should be a good lift. Not a bad way to finish your round. And he still has plenty of energy left. So 312.5 now for Eita Lepena Gutierrez. And this is a big personal best. Previous best lift, 300 kilograms. Now he's going for 312.5. $312.5 for a massive personal best. And this will also shift him into the gold medal position on squats, which is a pretty big deal in this field. Oh, he's going to have to fight. He puts the fight in. Was it deep enough? Coach looks happy. It is. It's 3 white lights. And he slides into gold medal position on the squats just temporarily because Andy Mahone now wants to look at 315. $315 kilos. He's fired up. Gets the squat. He's fighting it. He's going to get to the top. He gets it there. What do the referees say? It's 3 white lights. It's on the board, and he'll steal back the gold medal. So Mahone will take the gold medal in the squats. Gutierrez with the silver, and Maxim from Russia with the bronze. Not a bad way to start the session. Don't go too far away, though. In 20 minutes, we're going to be right back here and watch these big boys battle out the bench press. Welcome back to Helsingborg, Sweden for the IPF 2019 World Classic Powerlifting Championships. And of course, we are just to get the bench press underway for the 105s. And the big boys are starting to come out and play now. And we'll get a few of these openers on. And the bench press, especially in this weight class, can be really important. This is the weight class that can really come down to just a couple of kilos. So getting some numbers on the board here is very, very important for the top runners. So Bjorn Fredriksson, Denmark, 115. Well away from his personal best. So 115, should be able to handle this very well. And should be a good opening lift, and it is. So Thomas Celestine now, 122 and a half. 7.5 kilos shy of his personal best. Getting himself dug into that bench there. A little bit awkward on his touch, but no problems with the lift itself. And he gets the 3 white lights. Ruben Hoffman from Norway now, 140. So loading the 140 on the bar. It's got a best lift of 145. So opening just a smidge under that. And certainly had no problem with that lift. Made short work of that. George from Norway wants 140 as well. Well under his best lift of 155. And gets it on the board. 3 white lights. He originally nominated at 150, so he's dropped that opener. Michael Peretz from Germany, 142 and a half. Got a best lift of 150. And handles that without any problems at all. So Lawrence Hackley now for 150. Just got to get all these openers on the board. 150. And has no problems with that one at all. And goes on the board. Young Carmella now for 160. He's got a best lift of 170 and a 165 last year at the European Masters. And competes in both equipped and classic. And that is proving to be a little bit tough for an opening lift. He's not going to be happy with that. And his squats are a bit tough as well. Andy Mahone from New Zealand now. There's a monster squat on him, and he's got a pretty solid deadlift as well. So he competed in Minsk in 2017 and picked up a gold medal there. In 167.5 there. Opening at 162.5 here. And probably not the cleanest bench he wanted for an opening lift, but he gets the job done. Colorado, Czechia, 170. His best lift of 177.5 was at the European Masters this year in March. And he hit a 170 last year. So this shouldn't pose too much of a problem for him. And that looks pretty good. And Aita Lupina Gutierrez from US. And he's been competing 3 years. It's the US APL Nationals last year. Got a 177.5 bench press. I think this might even be his first international. And that was a good opening lift. Gets it on the board. And Maxim Kolduk from Russia now, 175. They're looking for 175. He's got a best lift of 185. And gets a good lift. Scott Simon now from Great Britain, 182.5. Picked up a bronze medal at the European Masters in March this year. He hit a 190 bench, looking for 182.5. He did a 182.5 last year at the British Nationals. And makes for a great opener this year. Jussi Kusikko from Finland, looking for 185. A PB of 200. Hit a 195. The world bench press in Tokyo this year. And we have a bit of a safety rack height problem. We probably should have restarted the clock, but he's got plenty of time to set up. And that's no problem for him at all. Konrad Bogart now from Germany, 205. Should be a fairly easy opening lift for him. He competes in both equipped and raw. And he has a very, very long resume in equipped lifting. And a very smooth opening bench. We come around to the start of the second round now. Bjorn Fredriksson from Denmark, 120 kilograms. So still shy of his personal best, so shouldn't pose too much of a threat. Taking his time, getting those shoulders in deep. And you're going to look for a quick press command, and he gets a very nice command there. A little bit of work for the middle, but never really looked in doubt. So Thomas Celestine from Great Britain now, 125. So looking for 125. Did a 122.5 at the European Masters this year in March. Did a 130 last year at the British Classic Masters. And 125, no problem at all. Ruben Hoffman, Norway, 145. Equaling his personal best. Nice light touch. You have to do a bit of work for it. But the referees say it's a good lift. Not a whole lot of room left for a third attempt, though. Michael Peretz, 150. Oh, that's a tough lift on that one, but he gets it to the top. And it is a good lift. Sounds like he's got his own support crowd with him. Kjorga Skoj from Norway. So just under his personal best of 155, looking for a 150. And he hit the 150, the European Masters last year. He finished in 8th position. And that should be a good lift, and it is. Lawrence Hackley from Sweden, 157.5. So I'm pretty sure this is his first international. He picked up the gold medal at the Swedish Championships last year. He did a 162.5 bench. Now looking at 157.5 here. Certainly nice for him to finish in the top 6 or 7 for his first international. And that was fairly smooth. I imagine you'll probably look at 160 or maybe 162.5 for his third. But Jan Salmela from Sweden now, 165. He's a laser operator. I really hope that's laser guns. I have a sneaking suspicion it's not laser weapons. So looking for 165. His opening lift was a lot tougher than it should have been for an opening lift. And his second is pretty tough too. He gets it on the board with 2 white lights. I wouldn't think there's much more than 167.5 there. Andy Mahone looking for 167.5, all the way from New Zealand. And the Kiwi contingency has arrived with force today. Really important for him to be getting these bench attempts on the board. So he's predicted totals, he's sitting in a fairly good position. But the US are going to try and peg him down. So every couple of kilos here can make a big difference. And it was smooth but tough. I think maybe 172.5 might be his top out today. And maybe even play the 170 with a higher probability of getting that 2.5 kilos. Carol Rather, Czechia, 177.5 for an equal personal best. Really getting those shoulders in deep. Chest comes up. Needs to keep that chest up, but just, you can see his elbows flared out there. He just couldn't get that one moving. Eita Lapina Gutierrez from the US now, 180. So 180 on the bar for a personal best. Now, as much as Mahone needs to put them on the board to keep ahead, Gutierrez needs to put them on the board to catch up. Now, 170 to 180, that's a big jump for a personal best. But he makes light work of it. So, if he can get another 5 kilos on there, it's going to go a long, long way to pegging down Andy Mahone. So Scott Simon now, 187.5. $187.5. And it's a lot of work. I think 190 would be my guess. Gutierrez has played the smart card and just put in that extra 5 kilos. Mahone has gone the extra 5 as well. So Maxim Pekuluk from Russia, 187.5. And the Russian team certainly have a strong history in bench press. Oh, just a bit of lateral movement there, but he recovered it. What do the referees say? It's on the board. Somehow he managed to shift that back. He just looked over to see his coach breathing a pretty big sigh of relief there when he saw the bar shift. Jussi Kosiko from Finland now, 195. Handles his own lift off. Not bad at 195 kilos. The way that moved, it looked like he could have stood up and curled it. There's plenty of room in the tank there. So Konrad Lagarde from Germany now, 215. Now, he's a great equipped lifter. I don't know if I've actually seen him at a World Championship Classic. He has a huge equipped resume. He's working hard for this one. It's a fight all the way. It's not going to make it though. He's going to get racked. So unfortunately, he won't get the 215. So I know he's been competing equipped for a long, long time. Raw, I can't recall whether he was in Minsk or Canada. But right now, Bjorn Fredriksson. $125 for his third attempt. And well under his personal best, so he should handle this quite well. And he does. Gets it back to the top. That should be 3 whites. He gets 2. It's 1 red light from the head referee. The yellow card looks like probably some head movement maybe. Thomas Celestine, 127.5. He works in security. And I would do as he says. If he comes up to you as a security officer, yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir. And gets the 127.5. Probably had a little bit more in there, but hard to say if the extra couple of kilos might have been too much. Ruben Hoffman now from Norway, 147.5. Looking for a personal best. And just when you thought you were opening up a gap in the overall totals from the US, in comes Russia and puts on some numbers on the bench press and starts closing the gap from behind. And now Maxim has put himself in a position to go after them as well. Ruben Hoffman for 147.5, and it's just a little bit too much today. So Torgeir Skog from Norway, 152.5. So just shy of his personal best. And like I say to a lot of athletes, powerlifting is a long game. You're not going to get a personal best at every competition. You have to lift to your physical capacity and mental capacity each competition. And that is a tough one today. Somebody turn the gravity up a little bit. So we go to 155. Michael Peretz, Germany. Now, his profile card says he's been competing for 0 years, but I think there should be a 1 in front of that. But he was competing back in 2005 and 2006. $155. This will give him a big personal best. And just a little bit too much at 5 kilos, but just a bit too much of a stretch. So now Lawrence Hackley, 162.5. When he hit his 157.5, I said 160 or 162.5. Let's see if he's got that 5 kilos in him. Needs to find an extra 5 kilos. His 157.5, if I remember rightly, moved pretty well. I'd love to see him get up into those sort of top 5 or 6. he had to work for every bit of it, but he gets it. So Jan Salmela from Sweden, 167.5. And I think that was a really smart move to only put the 2.5 kilos from the 165. His second lift was extremely tough. And I think his second lift was so tough, he might not be coming out. Not sure what's going on. The technical controller did just stick his head out the back to have a look. Hasn't motioned or indicated that he's not coming out. But at 35 seconds, I'd say he's decided that 165 is all he's got in his tank. And he's going to save a little bit for the deadlifts. Maybe give himself an opportunity to put some pressure on. And certainly try and keep that fourth position and not drop down. But he's done the sportsmanship thing and left his number up there so the guys get that extra minute rest. If he scratches his lift, then the guys don't get the minute's rest. So they leave it on there. I mean, it's a tough gig out there, turning around. As soon as they finish this, they'll be straight out doing their warm-up for their deadlift. So Andy Mahone now for 172.5 with a personal best and a really important 5 kilos here. I mean, this 5 kilos, if Lupina and Maxim don't get their third lifts, this 5 kilos opens the gap up by quite a lot. Now, his second lift at 167.5 wasn't easy. And I think the 5 kilos the push. But he's a very, very strong lifter. And the 5's a bit too much. The 2.5 would have been a safe card to play. So now, Karl Rather from Czechia, 177.5. He missed this on his second attempt. It's a personal best for him. He's going to need to muster every ounce of strength he's got to be able to put this one on the board. This is going to take a lot. It was a big jump from 170. He's going to fight it. It's not going to come up though. It's probably just a little bit too big a jump from his first to his second. So now, Hector Lupina Gutierrez from the USA, 185. Now, this one can actually help close the gap on Andy Mahone. So Andy Mahone missing that third lift has cost him more than just the 5 kilos he would have got, because Lupina now has the opportunity to put on an extra 5 and close it down. And of course, Maxim has an opportunity to put on an extra couple of kilos as well. And he's going to fight through it. I think he's got it. He has. And let's see what the referees say. Goes on the board. Scott Simon, 190. He'll take the bronze medal home for the bench press. And that was a very, very good finishing lift, that one. So Maxim from Russia now, 190. Which isn't going to change his position in the bench press. So this couple of kilos starts to close the gap on that silver medal. And when he starts closing the gap on the silver medal, that means Lupina has to consider whether he's going to protect his silver medal at the end of the deadlifts or go after the gold. And sometimes when you go after the gold, you end up losing the packet. So 190. Moved off his chest so well. That's what you need, speed off the chest. And he gets it on the board. That couple of kilos could make all the difference at the other end. So Kisiko from Finland now, 200 kilograms. Right on his personal best. His 195 moved like smoke and fire. It was super fast. And that one moved exceptionally well too. Puts that one on the board. And that'll give him the silver medal in the bench. And of course, Conrad from Germany, he has the gold medal already in his pocket for the bench press. Now he wants 215. So he missed this on his second. Just didn't get any power or any speed off his chest. Really taking his time. He wants to make sure everything's right for this lift. Well, he muscled that one up. What do the referees say? He gets it on the board, gets the 215 on there. He's got the gold medal in the bench press. Well, there's certainly some action heating up now. Mahone thought he was going to come in here and have it all his own way, but now Maxim from Russia is putting the pressure on Lupina from the US, and Lupina might just have to back off the pressure from Mahone. We're going to be back here in 20 minutes to watch these guys kick it off in the deadlifts. Welcome back to Helsingborg, Sweden for the IPF 2019 World Classic Powerlifting Championships, and we are just about to get the party started. The big boys are coming out for their deadlifts, and the action is heating up here. Maxim from Russia has suddenly put some pressure on Lipina, and if he can get these deadlifts on the board, these top three positions are very far away from being secured. First off the rank, Torgeir Skog from Norway, 210 kilograms. And we'll get all these openers on the board, and then they can start the party. And that should be a good opening lift. And it is 3 white lights. So Michael Peretz from Germany, 220 kilograms. And he weighed it at 98.55. I mean, I don't know what he looks like on television, but he looks like a heck of a lot more than 98.5. He is a very, very big, solid man. And 3 white lights goes on the board. So his total is there now. Bjorn Fredriksson from Denmark, 220. So we'll see a bit of a mixture from the different lifters here between sumo and conventional. There's always lots of discussion between athletes regarding sumo and conventional. And it really is about what works best for the athlete. So he gets that one on the board. Ruben Hoffman now from Norway, 242.5. So 242.5. He deadlifts beltless. So there's a few guys that deadlift beltless. Some guys just find it a bit hard to get the air in. The belt ticking in when they bend down. But he gets that one on the board. So 270 goes on the bar for Scott Simon from Great Britain. And that's a beautiful sight. 4 red Alico waffles. $270 kilos, well under his personal best, so he should handle this quite well. And that should be a good lift. So Karl Rada from Czechia now, 270 as well. We are going to move through these at lightning speed. So 270, well under his personal best. And I think he made that look harder than it actually was. But it goes on the board. Konrad Bogart from Germany, 270. This guy has one heck of a resume in equipped lifting. And there he goes. That should be 3 whites, and it is. Maxim look from Russia now, 275. And gets this one on the board, secures his total. And then it's time to start playing the game. And he is super strong, and he's been on fire today. And stands it up, doesn't give him any problems. So he gets the 3 white lights. Now, Ita Lupina Gutierrez from USA, 280. So 280 kilograms. Needs to get this on, secure that total. Only just shy of his personal best at 287.5. And there it is. It's on the board. Jussi Kasiko from Finland, 285. And this man has a big deadlift on him. He might have a big enough deadlift on him to make up some ground and try and challenge for 4th position. And that was a smooth and easy opening lift. Thomas Celestine now 287.5 for Great Britain. Good opening lift. On the board. So we move to 290 now. Lawrence Hackley for 290. Lawrence Hackley, the trained technician from Sweden. Looking for 290, easy, more powerful than a locomotive. And today he is. That should be a good lift. It is, it's on the board. Probably looked a little bit harder than I would have expected for his opening lift. Now Andy Mahone from New Zealand at 300 kilograms. He's got a personal best of 315. So it's a big opening lift. So 300 opener. Just needs to put this one on the board to solidify that total. And that was a good opening lift. Plenty of room to move. And now, Jan Salmela, Sweden, 310 kilograms. He's got a personal best of 335, so he's giving himself some breathing space. Now, he's had a rough trot today. All his lifts have looked pretty hard. Let's see how his deadlift looks today. And his deadlift looks a lot better. And he saved some energy for that. And now the party starts. So Mahone has put in a 317.5 for his second, so above his personal best. Pina at 295 and Maxim at 292.5. And that'll put Maxim just 2.5 kilos behind the Pina, with another lift to come. So they've got to get them on the board first. Toga Skoj from Norway now, 227.5. Making a pretty hefty jump of 17.5 kilograms. And that's a good lift. And he's still got a little bit of room to move there. Bjorn Fredriksson, Denmark, 235. Throwing on an extra 15 kilos. Taking his time there. And gets it to the top. So that's 2 on the board. Michael Peretz, 240. All the way from Germany, 240 kilograms. It's a lot of work, but he gets it to the top. So Ruben Hoffman now, 252.5. So taking a 10-kilo jump. And he's having to work hard for it. Let's see what the referees say. It's a good lift. There's not much left there, though. Scott Simon from Great Britain, 280 kilograms. So 280 on the bar for Great Britain. he gets it to the top. A little shaky, but it's there. And he gets the 3 white lights. Konrad Bagart, Germany, 282.5. So well under his personal best. And gets it to the top. And 3 white lights. Carl Rather, 290 kilograms, 639 pound, and some change. .290, right on his personal best. He's having to put in a lot of work for it. He gets it there. I don't think it's a whole lot of loose change left. It'll be interesting to see what he puts in for his next lift. But right now, Maxim from Russia, 292.5. It's a big jump from 275. If he puts this one on the board and Lapina gets his, it just puts him 2.5 kilos behind. If Lapina misses, he's going to scroll ahead of him. So he needs to put this one on the board. Very important. And gets it to the lock. Gets the down command. And I think it's a good lift. It is. He's putting the pressure on now. So now, Lapina Gutierrez from USA, 295. And the pressure is on him on this lift. This lift will keep him 2.5 kilos ahead of Maxim. It's a big lift, 295. Personal best is 287.5. He's been very, very strong today. Just needs to keep it up for 2 more lifts. And that looks good. That was a very convincing lift. Very convincing. So 300 goes on the bar now for Kusuko from Finland. Just under his personal best of 302.5. His opening lift flew up. And I don't think 300 is unreasonable. And the referees say good lift. And Lawrence Hackley now, 302.5. Best lift of 305. The trained technician from Sweden. right now it's time to start up that second engine. .302.5. He's having to work for it. And he gets a nice lock out at the top. And it's on the board. Great lift. Thomas Celestine now. 305. This lift will move his deadlift right up to second position with 2 lifts to follow him. And he gets it to the top. What do the referees say? He gets 2 white lights. I imagine the one red there, I think, is he didn't quite lock the knee properly. So now Andy Mahone from New Zealand at 317.5. So this will be a personal best. It's a big jump from 300 to 317.5. But he has to get this on the board. He needs to put this one on the board. And he's going to get it there. He does. He gets it there, but it wasn't overly convincing. There's not a whole lot of room left. I think anything above 322.5 is probably going to be a stretch. But right now, Jan Salmela from Sweden, 325. So the world record is 335. So 325. And he gets it there. There's not a lot of room left though. I think even 330 would be a stretch. So we come around to the start for Torgeir Skog from Norway, 237.5. So 237.5 for his last pull of the day. Will he get a personal best? And he gets it there. It's on the board. So Andy Mahone has put in a 330, which is possibly a little bit of a placeholder. So that'll give him an 812 total. Lupina has put in a 312.5, and that'll give him an 810 total. The current total world record is 810. It is just going to be a little bit of swapping and changing in these last lifts, I think. Bjorn Fredriksson from Denmark, 250 kilograms. He's shaking it to the top. And he gets it there, and he gets a massive personal best at 250. Michael Puritz from Germany now, 252.5. This will be a personal best for him. At 252.5. And gold, silver, and bronze are going to come down to the last pull. And it's a little bit too much. Not today. Ruben Hoffman from Norway now for 260. $260 kilograms. Equal personal best. It's not going to change his ranking at all. This is just a lift for him. And he gave it everything, but it just stalled just below his knees. Scott Simon, 290 kilograms for a personal best to finish on. And this will temporarily move him from 7th till 6th overall. So depending on the next lifts, he might just find his way up the rankings a little bit. It's a fight. He's going to have to fight it all the way. And he gets it to the top. Was he able to lock out? No, not quite. He's a little disappointed. But he has had a big day of lifting, and it's been fantastic. Konrad Burkhardt from Germany, 290. $290 kilograms. Taking his time, trying to get that roll-in technique, the timing. And he gets that to the top. What do the referees say? It's on the board. Karl Rada from Czechia now, 300 kilograms. And the guys just cleaning the bar there. The spotting and loading crews have been working flat out all day, every day, shifting thousands upon thousands of kilos of weight around. Making sure the bar's clean and looked after for the lifters, making sure the platform's clean. They have been on absolute fire. 300 kilograms for Karl Rada. And it's just a little too heavy today. It's just, that tank's getting just a little bit low. And of course, cleaning the bar on the third lift. Bar has to be cleaned between each lift. Maxim from Russia now, 302.5. This will give him an 800 total. He's lighter than Mahone, so he's going to hold on to that bronze and see if anyone else misses. And just a little bit too much there. He will settle for the bronze. But boy, did he put some pressure on Lapina and Mahone. And they had to think fast to change their game plan. So now Lapina with 305. This will give him an 802.5 total. And then he's going to have to bank on Mahone missing his lift. And of course Mahone now will be watching this lift and decide whether he'll change his third lift or not. And just can't get it to the lockout. He gave it everything he had. So he will be settling for the silver medal. And now, of course, Mahone in a clear position, secured. Can do whatever he likes with his last deadlift. Kasiko from Finland, 307.5. $307.5. This will move his deadlift to third position and his rank overall to fourth. And I think that's a good lift, and it is. So Mellor has put in a 335.5 to take a crack at the world record. Mahone hasn't shifted his at all. Thomas Celestine, 310. He's going to take everything he's got to lock it out. I don't think he was able to lock those knees. No, 3 red lights, unfortunately. So Lawrence Hackley, 310. This won't change his overall ranking, but it will move his deadlift up into the bronze medal. If he can put this one on the board, he gets himself a bronze medal for the deadlift. He's giving it everything he's got. He's got it up to the top. He's locked it. And it's on the board. He will take home the bronze medal for the deadlift. Now, Andy Mahone looking for a world M1 total record. The current record is 810 kilograms. He wants 812 and a half. Is it out of reach? 12 and a half kilo jump. The big jump, his second lift wasn't super convincing. This is for the world total record. And he's pulling, it's still going up, but no, it's just a little bit too much today. But he will take home the gold medal as the world champion, and he'll also take home the silver medal in the deadlifts. But right now, Jan Salmela wants to have a crack at this world record, 335.5 to be loaded on the bar. So 6 reds, a black, a silver, and he's put in a change to 332 and a half. He's decided that the 335 and a half might have been a little bit too much. So we'll go for 332 and a half. He'll take the gold medal in the deadlift, and this will move his rank up to 4th position. And just a little bit too much, but he still takes home the gold medal in the deadlift. What a great finish. Mahone with the World Championship gold medal. Lapina takes the silver, and Maxim takes the bronze, and these guys pushed each other to the absolute limit to see who would take home the gold medal. Don't go too far away. We'll be back with the medal ceremony very soon. Of course, there's more action this afternoon.
plus. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.